what's up, Chris? Quick demo video for you for your 7 chambers SKIG. So as you know, I just finished this up today and wanted to go over it with you. You opted for the clean version, which is really nice and sleek. It is installed with the Proffie V2. You've got the Noah Drew marble in here that you provided me. So there's a small holocron inside that marble that you'll see when I light it up. This does have my own resin printed chassis fins or chamber fins, and it holds that Graflex clamp card in the back that you'll see when I light that up too. It's a little hard to pick up on camera, maybe. You can kind of see it back there. And then this middle chamber rod, I have a few rods from Phil Guinness, and I used one of those obviously, right? So I fitted it in there and then I glued it in, but I didn't make it come and touch the marble. I just have it hovering just above a little bit because I thought that looked pretty cool. And then the marble itself sits in a piece that I resin printed also, and it's specifically for this size marble, and so it holds the marble in there, and everything lights up really well. So you've got your blade plug in here that you sent this with, so we'll loosen up this blade retention screw, which is right here. Your blade plug will slide right out. Before it was held in with it had 2 screws holding it in. You had your blade retention here, and then the bunny ears, the screw in the bunny ears was a little bit long, so I took it out and I shaved it down. So you've only got 1 blade retention right now, and it's this guy, what nature intended, right here. Okay, and let's turn this down a little bit. What else we got? 2 button setup. So your front switch, that's going to be your activation, and then your back switch back here, that's your auxiliary. To get to everything, you just want to unscrew this guy. It is extremely tight. I make this chassis tight in the handle. There's no wiggle room. This is something that I like to do. It just helps reinforce everything when the handle's on. So if you duel with this guy a little bit, or you smack it around a little bit, it's not going to hurt anything, because I mean, it is just extremely tight fit in there, as you'll see when we go through this video. But here's your chassis. A little bit of force lightning here on the side. Flip it over, it does say Solo Sabers right here for me. Some more force lightning coming this way, and you've got a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. And then your Proffie board is here, and it's just a snap fit down into the shelf. So this is typically what I like to do. I make all these boards a tight snap fit. So if you want to get to your SD card, you can just pop it up like that, do what you need to do, and then snap it back down into place, and it will hold there very well for you. And then you have removable battery system. So spring side is your negative right here. All right, so this is kind of wired up like a cross guard. You've got 3 different blade styles for each sound font. You've got your main blade, you've got the Graflex card here in the back as its own blade style, and then the actual pixel for the crystal, or in this case the marble, has its own blade style as well. So you can you can program these all independently from each other if that's what you wish to do. Let me get a battery, and we'll throw a battery in this guy. So this is the Merrick soundtrack from Preston Bannister over at Syndicate Sound Relics. I believe I've got 2 of his on here. I've got the Merrick sound, or the Merrick sound font, and the Ancient Integration, and then I have Dark Jedi as well. That might be his as well. I'll have to double check on that. So when the saber's off, we'll just turn this off completely. That's what it's doing. So you can see you've got a scrolling effect on the Graflex card in the back, and then if you can delineate, there is a separate pixel for the marble that's doing its own thing until we turn this guy on. And it gets a little bit faster, and you have a solid crystal. So your LEDs are working in there like they should. Nice smooth swing, twist off, and then it goes back to that. Or you could come over here and use the power button. And when we hit auxiliary for blaster deflex, or if you hit the saber for blade lockup, because you do have battle mode, you notice that animation in your crystal chamber. And it stays like that until you pull away from it. Now, even though I painted the holder for the marble and the chamber fins, I painted them gold. I did print them in clear resin so that they would have some shine through when the all that light was hitting them. So you can see how that that stand for the marble is lighting up as well. And you can kind of see your holocron in there. And we'll throw a blade in. This takes a 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blade. You got CC Sabers in here. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but you've got CC Sabers LEDs in there for your main PCB. Alright, so we'll just throw a blade in here. Lock it down. And now this thing is kind of just going wild, right? This is a bit of an erratic, unstable blade. You see your blade lock up right here. I'll turn it off. To get to your soundtrack on each font, just hold down your power for 1 second and let go. So you got that playing, right? And then turn it off, do the same thing. Just hold down your power for a second and let go. And then to change sound fonts, we'll just hit the auxiliary button. Ancient integration. Now I got a little bit of something different going on right here for you, just to mix it up a little bit. Now I wanted to leave your crystal on so it's a solid color, so you really get to see that holocron in there. And then more of an accent piece on the card on this particular sound font. This is the Electro Blade style from Fernando's library. I thought it went well with this particular sound font. We'll hit the blade or the battle mode for blade lockup. And you can kind of see it right here. And then in your crystal chamber. So you pull away from it and then it goes back to normal. And we'll do one more. Dark Jedi. Dark Jedi. And that's kind of what we got going on right here. So you can see it's a slow scroll when the saber's off, and then it speeds up when we swing it on. But the crystal remains a solid light. And then I opted to just go with a red blade on this one. I think this one might be an audio flicker blade. Sounds really good. Now, I'm going to take this blade out. I only have the speaker set to 2000. I typically send the speakers out around 2000. You can push it higher if you want. It can definitely handle that. I've had mine up to 2600 before. I don't know if I'd go that high if I were you, but it can definitely handle 24. I haven't had any problems at 26. I just don't recommend it because I don't want people saying, you know, well, Jeremy said. No, he didn't. So, yeah. So that's your saber. You put your blade plug in here. It does shine through very nice. I don't remember if I showed you that or not, but I'll show it to you one more time real quick. So we got your blade plug in there, right? So very cool. And then we'll just go over taking the battery out, which is super easy. Just unscrew the handle. Remember what I said, everything's super tight. You're going to be able to feel that, but it fits. It just has that extra reinforcement. Pull it right out just like that and come over here from the positive side, which is by your speaker, and pull it out with your finger just like that. And yeah, your chassis retention screw is right here. That should never come out. there are a lot of wires between the chassis and the crystal, just right here in that neck area. That's where I do a lot of my stuff, and then I tuck it back there so nobody can see it. All right, we'll put the handle back on for safekeeping. That's basically your saber. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, I'm going to hang on to this until I finish up the other mystery saber from Nevin. I just have to replace a speaker in that guy, and then I will send these both out at the same time. All right, thanks, man.